Good afternoon, everyone, and you warm welcome to all of you for joining the today's session. And we are pleased to have with us the Professor Nirupama, Associate Professor, School of Engineering and Technology from BML Munjal University. She has a rich industry and academic experience in entrepreneurship and marketing strategy. After all, she has an own startup called Binny Brown Private Limited, which is belongs to a medtech industry. So I request now the Professor Nirupama to take the session forward and share some insights to our the student innovators so that they can take their career into the next level. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Siraj, for that beautiful and overwhelming introduction of mine. And it's always pleasure to be interacting and being supportive to the initiative what you usually take with schools and colleges. So it's my pleasure to be here all today. Good afternoon, students. Are there any faculty members also present in this session?
I believe mentors joined.
Mentors have joined. Very good. So that is more important because the mentors and the students both have to be aligned. Then only this program will have a, um, you know, uh, proper, end, or I would say that proper mentoring could be done when the students and faculties are involved together. So, as Siraj was asking me, that I should be covering many things. In fact, with the short time that is 1 hour, it will be tough. So I have many slides which have been prepared for you all for today's session. But with interest of time and the understanding of the students, I will be asking you for discussion time also. So let me share my screen so that we'll start the session now. Is my screen visible?
Not now, ma'am.
Okay, let me see.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
Okay, okay, it's
Good
visible.
morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir.
Good
good morning.
afternoon. So, the title of the talk, which has been given here, is Turning Ideas into Impact, Building a Winning Business Model. So, whatever the ideas you have, how that idea is being generated, and is that idea going to create an impact in the society or into a business or into yourself where you can become an entrepreneur? Sometimes ideas need not lead to a startup, right? Sometimes the idea could be a solution which is offered at individual level or system level, or at, for example, at your school level. If there is a concern which need to be addressed, and if you have an idea to solve that particular problem, right, that need not be converting into an entrepreneur journey for you, but it is actually creating an impact. Now, in case if you have that impactful idea, if you have a proper tools and exposure, will that become a business? Yes, it can become. That's the reason we have proposed this session to you. The ideas what you have, how can we turn it into a business which could be a winning business? And also, in order to create a business, you need to have a business model. So how do you create a business model? Are there any tools available? So in today's session, I'll be covering how to understand or bring your ideas into uh, impact, and then understanding who are your customers, how do you segment your customers, what is the value proposition, and how do you build the customer relationship, revenue streams, the key resources and cost structure, key partnership alliance which you can build in order to successfully release your product to the market. So these are the things we will be covering more or less in this session. So you can ask me questions in case if you're not able to understand anywhere. So I'll be able to do that for you. Or maybe we can take a Q&A in the end also. So to begin with, what is an opportunity? Right. So opportunity could be a chance or a change which you are going to bring it to the society or to the problem itself which you have identified. So every problem is an opportunity where you can think about solving it and also create impact. So the definition would go like this: it's a future state, precisely, and that is both desirable and achievable. Another one is what are the qualities of having this opportunity? Is it attractive to me? Is it durable? and it is at a time. For example, if you look at when the COVID happened, the whole world was surprised. We were not ready for it. But many medical, institutions or any medical research scientists, that was an opportunity for them to build something for the people where they can, test any vaccines. So that's when the opportunity came in without expecting it. So identifying a right kind of opportunity, um, and building the research, building your idea, building a product to those lines which can align with the opportunity can actually bring a change. So one opportunity used wisely can change your life dramatically, not just yours, people around you as well. So how do you put your references? How do you start your day? A warm welcome, a warm wishes, a warm smile can also bring a lot of change to the people whom you are going to meet. So we'll see how it has been done. So I was looking through one of the article which was done by Alexander, and he says that market need is one of the main or initial concern, which can be with employed or resources, or maybe the resources may not be available. So that's when the actual identification of your problem starts. Okay, so let me pull out the marker. Okay, yes, here I'm talking about. Next comes the business concepts itself. What is this business you have? How does it align with the market needs? Yeah. Then you try to make a business plan. And that business plan obviously will lead to, again, to the topper requirement, where we are looking at the resource available and also try to understand the market needs. And then finally you will form your business, and then a successful enterprises can takes place. So initially looking at the market requirement, there could be resources available, or it can be without resources. So you can look for the opportunities to build a successful enterprise. Now, being an entrepreneur, what is the essence of entrepreneurship? That is what you need to understand. To pursue an opportunity, of course. So there's a definition which has been written in this article by Shane in 1982. He says that an entrepreneur task is to discover and exploit opportunities. Basically, the idea what you have, it is an outcome of the opportunity which you have exploited, so that your idea become a solution for that particular problem. So it is also a situation where the products or services can be sold or purchased. For example, one industry, one tablet, specifically Dolo, if you remember during COVID, that was extensively used by people. And those were the medicine which was sold extensively compared to other medicine during that time. So it's an opportunity. How do you use it? Identifying the opportunity is also very important. So as an entrepreneur, you will always be searching for change and respond to it and exploit that opportunity so that it can be a successful venture. So there are certain things which you need to know, the basics and research data which you have to understand in order to start your business also. Sometimes opportunities do not come handy, so you will be creating those opportunities. So the both types of entrepreneurship can be present at the same time. One is discovering the opportunity, another one is creating the opportunities. So sometimes this opportunity need not be created by special individuals but are readily available in society. Just I give you an example to anyone who is having that alertness, and also to be able to recognize them. So if there is an opportunity for a funding, or if there is an opportunity for a competition, if you do not enroll for that competition, so you cannot be part of it. So do you have an access for those information? Sometimes you have an access for those informations. Are you really interested in applying? Are you following the required terminologies? Are you understanding the requirements and building your proposal in such a way that you're fulfilling those proposals? And are you submitting it on time? See, there are a lot of things when it comes to an opportunity availability, right? Similarly, there is no opportunity, but you are going to create an opportunity which may sometimes bring a disequilibrium. For example, in a market where the smartphones are available, right? There were smartphones before also. Why Apple became successful? They actually created a disequilibrium in the entire market, isn't it? Where they broke the market. They became the number one with one strategy they applied, that is customer satisfaction. They are kept a customer as the center of their business. So there were a lot of strategies which can be used in order to break that equilibrium. We will see one after the other, but for you, I want to say that identifying an opportunities is one way of selling your ideas. Another one, if there is no opportunity, you will create the opportunity. Right. This slide is a very interesting slide for you to understand where I can bring innovation. I hope you all understand the difference between invention and innovation. So there could be a degree of ambiguity. This is what we are talking about when there is an idea. Is my idea is good? Is my idea can be converted into a prototype or a product? Can be it be a startup? So those ambiguity degree will be there. That will increases as we start dwelling into a development of your idea, right? So allocative supply, when there is a supply, definitely supply and demand has to be, when there is a demand, supply can be done. If there is no demand, so if you have a product, how can you supply? So that understanding is important. That also depend on demographic changes. For example, in North India during winters, the cold is very much, whereas in South India the level of temperature will not be so low, so that the woolen clothes, the warm clothes for that matter, or a heater, which is another equipment which we need in winters mostly. The selling of these equipments or the goods differ from region to region based on the requirement and also the demographics of the people, right? So you need to understand the demographics. That is where you can create a value. And you should also be very clear about understanding the replication and extension. Are you creating the product which is already there, or it is an extension of the product which you are creating? That could also be leading to an innovation. For example, I gave you the example of the mobile phone. There were other mobile phones as well, but some came with a different feature, and some came with lesser cost or larger cost, or it could be anything for that matter, but ultimately it is leading to innovation. So you need to find out that one, what to say, your idea in which there is a unique value proposition which you want to build it, which can be an innovation to the existing product, or it could be the extension of that product, right? Again, it could be locus of change where you are discovering something new, and it could bring a structural change to the entire market itself. So these are the ways you can have your you know ideas. It could be passive ideas or it could be reactive ideas where you are bringing change to the market. Now, these are the table which I have summarized. Maybe we can look at one, not too many things you need to know about it. All that you need to understand, what is an opportunity? Is there a possibility of taking a known activity in a selected geographic or customer space? Because you need to know your idea, where are you selling? Suppose if an idea to monitor air quality system, right? You want to build that. So you need to be looking at a city where air pollution is higher. We know that we live in a city where air pollution is at its peak. So can I invent something? That's an opportunity for you. So if you have an idea to build a air purifier or identifying the real time information, sending it to each of the people about the air quality of today, time to or maybe hourly basis or real time monitoring also. Do you have an idea that makes more sense to the people at this time, so they can know the quality of the air? They have all the information in the mobile. That's when you identify the opportunities, right? And also look at the allocative, the possibility of gaining market. Yes, because there is a space, people would love to have that kind of details in their mobiles handy so that they can understand what is the quality of the air. Or if I want to buy an air purifier, is it um, uh, the cost which will stop me from buying, or can I have an affordable air purifier to my home, or maybe a mask which can protect me from hazardous materials which are gases there in the air. So you have to look at all those aspects and then focus. What to focus then? Operational focus. Like what is that I'm going to bring? One is a new product development or an existing product with an extension. Also, again, you need to exploit the strategies like, discovering. First thing is imitation of existing one, then allocative, discovery, and constructive, where emergence through strategies and feedback. So, what do you mean by feedback? Suppose if you have an idea, you go to your teacher and you explain your idea, then take a feedback from them. Many times, your teacher might say that this product is already available in the market, right? Then what to do? Then you have to do a research. Okay, what type of materials or products available in the market? What is the cost of it? Can I make a device which is cost effective? Or can I add more features so that it becomes more reliable, more effective, right? These are the things you can identify when you focus and when you have a constructive feedback given from your teachers. Also, how are you identifying these opportunities? So it could be through observations, yeah, and it could be a successful business. For example, Uber is a successful business, right? Somebody saw it, then another institution or a sector wanted to replicate the same thing. So now you have so many apps which through which you can, rent a car. Similarly, it could be any other business, which is like Swiggy, Zomato. Like they all do the same thing, but they both are replicating each other, but with a better features or maybe better customer satisfactions, things like that. So you need to know how I can identify these opportunities. So it could also by reasoning. You can say that, for example, every day let's say your bus timings are early in the morning, so, and the bus driver is every time coming to your pickup point, and he's because he doesn't want to call you because he's driving. Then, is there an alert system which can intimate me like the bus is at this point, and you get a message, so bus is reaching you in next 5 minutes, or I'm reaching your pickup point in next 10 minutes. So that will give you an understanding that okay, this is the time I have, I need to be prepared, I need to be standing and waiting for this bus. So something like that, a real time experience which you are experiencing on your daily basis. If there is a challenge, if there is an opportunity to improvise that life or that experience, that can become an idea. So assumption also sometimes work, right? As an entrepreneur, okay, if I do this business, maybe I can attract this many customers. So uncertainty is very important in becoming an entrepreneur, because there could be a lot of uncertainties when you start your business. So what works for others will not work for me or anybody else. That you need to have a clarity. You might say Apple phone is a very good sophisticated phone, but does your grandmother will be able to use it? Yeah, that's a question. So you need to understand for whom I am giving this product, for what purpose, what is the need of it. That clarity you need to have, and what is the desired outcomes, a viable business and a sustainable return which you are expecting. Success depends upon the market, obviously, how your customers are buying it, how this product has created the impact, is it cost effective, is it a success or a failure. It all depends upon the market. So a new viable product can be built through a proper business model with a proper understanding of the customer needs, and also anticipating or assuming the market, and also be ready for risk. This is what you need to have as an entrepreneur. All right. Now, developing an opportunity is also another area which you need to focus. Continuous proactiveness in a business is very important, and also sensing and perceiving the market needs is also very important. So this slide I'm going to close at this point, because this is all about opportunities identification and recognitions, and how do you develop from there, right? Now let's assume that you have identified the opportunity and you want to build from that, right? That's when the opportunity evaluation happens. Not every opportunity is for you, right? So you need to understand and evaluate, and maybe informal or even unarticulated way. Okay, this is the opportunity I have, but this is not for me. That clarity you can get by evaluating your opportunities, right? what are the sources of opportunities? That is also very important, where I can identify these opportunities. Most of the times we'll have the idea first and then we look for the opportunities. So change in the circumstances, there is a lot of cues. I give you an example of COVID. There's a confusion in the market, inconsistency in the market, lags. For example, if the product is taking delay in coming to the market, someone else will produce that produce it earlier, and they can capture the market. Knowledge and information gaps are also important. So there are a lot of vacuums in the industries or in the market which you have to identify, through which you can identify the opportunities. And see, these are the examples. World War II, how the technology innovation happened during this, where we wanted to protect the people, right? We wanted to win the war. So these kind of situation definitely give an opportunity to build that technology. Recently we had a friction in the Indo-Pakistan border. Then drone technology took a hype, and people started building drones. How do you build a drone which can drive the distance, or carry a load, carry a medicine in terms of natural disaster calamity which happened in Kerala. Many of the IIT students came up with an idea where they use drone to supply essentials. It could be medicines, it could be small food package which can be reaching the place where the humans could not reach because of the water clogging or whatever may be the reason. So you need to identify those opportunities, and these could be the sources. So, as an entrepreneur, you need to look for the credibility, creativity, and decisiveness which can seize the opportunities while other at study. That means people who are just looking at the opportunity, but you're already in action, you're seizing the opportunities, and you're selling your ideas. So, this is all about the opportunities. How will I see my idea as a potential business idea? So, these are the things you need to have a clarity in mind, so that your idea has an opportunity, has a potential in the market. All right. So there are different assessment patterns, so that you can understand how do I assess the opportunity also, right? There are different parameters like competitor analysis, identification, long term viability. There could be a short time opportunity. For example, Kumbh Mel happened. There was an ad where one person sold only tea and made lakhs of rupees. That opportunity was limited, and that was only for the certain time, right? So you need to see whether my opportunity, what I'm identifying, it is for the time being, or it is going to be at the longer run. So these are some of the example. And as I said, for evaluating venture opportunities, you need to understand your customers, market, user benefits, value added, product life, right? Market size, and all that. So everything what you align depends upon the changes, the way people want it. For example, earlier, mobile phone did not have a video calling. Mobile phone did not have a touch screen. Mobile phone, through mobile phone, we were not able to, make a voice call also. Maybe texting, pager was there. So how technology evolved? Technology evolved as per the requirement of the people, that is needs of the people. So first thing is, you need to identify the needs of the people. Needs of the people will give you objectives which you want to achieve, whereas the people pain will give the opportunities for your idea. For example, somebody says, I'm not able to walk, I need a wheelchair. So there is an opportunity to build a wheelchair. Now, wheelchair is available, but only staircase are there. How do I run the wheelchair on the stairs? There's a challenge. Then we need to have a slide there. So every need and every pain gives you an opportunity to build a business. That's what this slide summarizes with. Okay. And again, there are certain economics which you need to understand in case if you're building the business. For now, I'm going to skip these slides because we need to understand how to build a, your business first, and then we will come back to the value proposition and how we can create it or not. Very important slide which I'm going to share it with you is this one. Ask questions when designing your business. What type of questions I should be asking? what value I am creating, right? Position in the marketplace, value delivery, operating models, combinations of whatever the practices you want to adopt, value capture, source of uniqueness. Who are we serving? What are you offering? How are we able to deliver? Why won't it be copied? So, very important thing is that I think you must have gone through IPR session as well. In the IPR is a very important concept when it comes to business or an idea. So if you have an idea which is unique, the first thing is you need to patent it so that your idea can be protected, right? So those are the things you need to consider. And how do you create a value? How do you position in the market? What is the customer scope? Who are we serving? And what are we offering? That is where the relationship finally comes into. These are the four parameters where you are creating the value, delivering the value, and capturing the value at the same time, which are two more most important one: the scope of the customer and what are we offering. That is value proposition we are giving to the customers. So I would like to share one of the case study here so that you can understand this component better. So this is a case which happened in Ghana in Africa. There EV market came into existence. Okay. So in Africa, a lot of EV companies are trying to establish there, and also they are selling a lot of electrical vehicles because Ghana is a place they are into renewable resources. A lot of German companies have also established off-grid solar cells, energy sources for them. So this is a case study where there are a group of students, they want to do something about electrical vehicles. Okay, so their vision is to become a leading e-mobility company in Africa, and they have a mission statement. They want to provide EV maintenance and skilled EV technicians in Ghana and beyond. Now, how did they arrive at the mission and vision statement? We will see it slowly. They identified the problem. What was the problem? They identified the problem was there was no problem to introduce a EV vehicle in the market. People are buying EV vehicle, people are using it. The challenge was there were nobody who can repair EV vehicles. There were mechanics, but they were not specialized in repairing the EV vehicles, right? So lack of skilled labor in the emerging EV sectors, where a lot of international renewable energy agencies also reported that they identified. How did they get the resources? These are all very authentic reports which they have taken from a reliable sources, that yes, there is an insufficient technical expert which is happening in African region. So that is an opportunity. So getting an opportunity is one. Also, how authentic that opportunity is, how reliable the source which is giving me an opportunity is also important. That is where the sources where the information is captured should also be identified. And see that there is also mentioned there is only 10% of workforce in sub-Sahara African. So they also identified, okay, that means there are no experts at all in EV sector. No, there are at least 10%. So the number of people who are expert also in that. So there is an opportunity, there is a problem where I can address, just in case you are an expert in EV vehicle repairing and maintaining and servicing, right? That's how they got this opportunity. They identified the problem. They also did, in case if you are learning design thinking, which is also a very important tool to identify the customer needs. We follow different stages of understanding the customer needs. One is, first thing we do is through empathizing. To understand the user needs, you need to behave like a user. You need to put yourself in the situation of the user so that you can understand what this person is going through. Also, understanding his behavior and his passion, his desire, his hobbies also will allow us to know what type of solution this person is looking forward to. Now that the problem is identified, there is no scarcity of electrical vehicle, but there is a scarcity of electrical vehicle maintenance engineers or mechanics identified. Now we are looking at who are the users who are using these electrical vehicles. See, for example, they have created a persona. His name is Ali Muhammad. He is of certain age, 32, and he is a software engineer. So his goal is to have a healthy EV car to drive he has to drive to his work every day. So he feel that he is contributing something to the climate by using EV vehicle. So he's is also interested in getting his vehicle repaired from an expert, and also he need a regular services. So these are his requirements. So understanding his requirements will also give us an opportunity to add more features to the idea what you have, right? For example, if you are having a temperature sensor, which will all by default, you know that it is going to measure the temperature. Okay, so I measure the temperature now and update the temperature somewhere, or I have to, if I give you the task, please measure the temperature of my room and give me the details. So you will give me the details now. But I want to know what was the temperature in my room at 8 a.m. in the morning, right? That is my requirement. Then you can add a real time monitoring system which can have the temperature sensor which monitors the temperature for 24 by 7 and update the user every hour. Suppose if I want to know if there is a variation in the temperature or change in the temperature, it should immediately alert me, right? Through on my mobile, a notification should come. Yes, the temperature has dropped, a temperature has increased at this point of time. So these are the user requirements. So that is the reason you need to understand what are my user requirements. Will I be able to provide that with my ability to think, with my technical knowledge, with my resources available, with my funds available? Will I be able to develop that resource? That is what you need to understand when you are understanding the user needs, right? And his challenges are he need to find an expert who is in the EV cars. Okay, and he must also go to his work on time driving his car. So he need an expert EV car, also the workshop nearby, so that he can take his car and also his car is going to be maintained well. Now the car is not in good condition because it needs repair, so he's not able to use the car because there is nobody. He doesn't want to give the car to somebody who is a regular car mechanic. So he is looking for an expert. So you got an entire picture. That's the reason their vision became very clear. This is what the vision is, this is what the mission we are going to achieve. So that is how they evolved with the vision mission statement of their idea and their business. Similarly, they need to understand the market. What is the approximate? Suppose if I want to set up a business in Ghana, the place in Africa, if there are only two EV vehicles, why will I spend so much of money in setting it? Right? If there are large number of vehicles, two wheelers or four wheelers, then it makes sense for me to set up a workshop there where I can have a EV two wheeler or a four wheeler workshop which will repair and maintain these vehicles. So understanding the market size, how many vehicles are there on road is important. How many e-bike companies are there? Not just focusing on the car. Are there any other EV products available for which I can give this service? Then you identify, you expanded. Okay, not just two wheeler, not just four wheeler, I can have combination of this where I can service both. Thereby you will understand your market size, right? So these are very important to, how do I know this? So you need to go to a reliable sources to understand how many vehicles are there in the that particular region, who are the owners, what are the difficulties. So it can come through survey or through some reliable sources you can identify. So what solution you want to offer? So earlier they thought that we will only set up a workshop to do the heavy maintenance of the vehicle, I mean repairing the vehicle. Then they also thought that, then how do I build the resource? By training, I can also train some people, thereby I can create a employability. See, they identified the opportunity, second opportunity here. First one was I want to give the service to them. Second, they identified that, okay, what if I build a system where I train people, local people, so that your business can be expanded, right? So instead of having one garage, you can train people, certify them, and create multiple garages so that you can get commission from them. You are employing people, and when you are giving certification, somebody has to give that certificate. So they looked at ICE, yeah, which is a very valid, you know, certificate training system. Through them, you give a training and certify them. See, look at one solution, but they enhance the solution based on what? based on identifying the opportunity there. So what type of maintenance services I want to give? So there are different types of maintenance services. Then what are the things? Routine maintenance I want to give, battery services I want to give, high voltage component services, low voltage component services, tire services. It can be many more. But what you are giving, you need to have a clarity on what you are giving. Next, how do I train them? What type of, because when you say you are in 8th grade or ninth grade or 10th grade, your syllabus is aligned to the grade you are in. You will not be taught what is there in the 10th grade, isn't it? When you go to the 10th grade, you will only study what is applicable for that particular grade based on your ability to understand and learn. Similarly, a curriculum was very important. So they built a curriculum which is sufficient enough to give the services they have identified. Now, when I say I'm going to give the training, how many weeks training I want to give? 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever it is. What would be the cost of this training program? Looking at the people who can afford this. For example, a person who is studying in a government school, he will not be able to pay a fees which is of any private schools with lot of expenses, which includes lot of feature. Of course, as you give money, the features and facilities also increases. So there is a big gap between fee which is paid in a normal government school and the private sector schools. So will I be able to afford that kind of a fee? Based on that only I will choose my school, isn't it? Similarly, based on the course fee, many people will think about joining that course. So I need to study who are these people who are interested in doing a training at my institution. Are they capable of paying the fees? Right? Can I give them a discount as an opening offer? These are all business strategies. Now that you identified two angle for your business, one is providing a service, second one is providing a training, right? So at both the places, you are also looking at where I can enhance my market area. You're capturing the EV users, you're also capturing the unemployed citizens of that particular region. You are attracting people to come to you, thereby you are expanding your uh, you know business strategy, also opportunity which you are taking into consideration. And also keep in mind that whether my service is affordable or not, that is also very important. Now, let's come to the value proposition Canva, which is the heart of this session. After that, I will pause and I'll be asking you questions so that we can have a discussion. So, this is a value proposition canvas, a template which we use because there are many tools in which, suppose, how do you know this person need? What is that he is looking forward? Somewhere we need to capture this information, right? And also, how do I create a value for my product? For that, value proposition happens, right? To identify the customer needs and wants, you can create a customer persona, right? To identify the value for the business and the benefits you are offering, you need to create a value proposition. So there are different boxes here which will tell you what is this. This is for the products, this is for the customers. Okay, both need to be in a line. So for the customer, his wants are important and his needs are important. At the same time, his fears. Okay, reduced fuel expenses, that's why he went for EV. Low maintenance cost, EV maintenance services, those are the things he's looking forward to. What are his needs? Accessible, knowledgeable customer service who is very much aware of EV vehicles, and then durable batteries with long lifespans. Skilled labor service, yes, that's what he's looking for. He doesn't want to give his car to somebody who is not an expert. And also maintenance, maybe a workshop which will do the maintenance, regular maintenance for his car. What are his fears? Not being able to service their EV because there are no service centers nearby. Wasting money by acquiring EV. So I think, after buying an EV vehicle, I think I wasted my money. I should not be done this because there are no proper service centers here. But for a business point of view, what is the benefit for you? Access to affordable EV repair services. Yeah, will I be able to provide that to them? EV maintenance skills, acquisition for technicians, certification for technicians we are giving. We are not just training, we are also certifying them so that tomorrow when this person go to service them, his need is fulfilled because one of his needs is skilled labor service. So am I satisfying that? Yes, I'm satisfying it. Increase revenue for technicians? Yes. It also allow the unemployed person to get certified, become employable, and also thereby you're also earning money through certification, right? Experience should be happy, valued, satisfied, empowered, and confident, right? So what are the features we can offer? Flexible training schedule for the people. Suppose if I'm working in some other company but still I want to enhance my income, or I want to become an expert, I want to do a evening classes. There is a timing available. Can you accommodate? Yes, if you are able to. Customer support services, because today you did a maintenance to the vehicle, and if I call, nobody's answering me. Will I be able to give a customer service to them, which is satisfactory? So you can also send a routine maintenance reminder, which makes the user very happy. Even though I've forgotten, okay, I got a reminder. Yes, I need to go for servicing. These are the features which actually brings this customer back to you. Thereby, your business starts building your own customer basis. So, what is the product we are trying to sell here? EV maintenance and training services and certification, which is ideal for EV users, EV retailers also, because once my business is established, I can attach my workshop to EV manufacturer itself. So thereby, when the vehicle purchased from the day one, you can get associated with the customer who bought this EV car. Thereby, your customer numbers also will increase, right? And also, you are giving them certificates. So, what is the substitute for this? One is the direct customer, the second one is EV manufacturers. So ideal customers you have identified as your users who are using EV vehicle. Second one, it could be retailers who are selling it, right? And the institution who is good in certifying, because I also want my training to be certified, right? That is why these are our ideal customers. What could be the other substitute? Could be a EV manufacturer also. So this is what is all about value proposition Canva, which captures the customers' needs, wants, and their fears. At the same time, what your product can offer, and also how you can get benefited, what type of experience you want to create for those customers, and the products and your actual customers, or maybe you can have extended customer segments in terms of identifying it so that your business can sustain for a long run. So with this we'll complete the value proposition Canva, and I would like to pause at this time to understand your level of understanding with this session, so that we can discuss few questions. Siraj, I'm opening this session for the questions now.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Any questions, Shan, Atyam, or any mentor? If you have any question, you can ask.
To summarize to everyone, we have understood how to identify the opportunity. Second one, assessing the opportunity or evaluating the opportunity, and
Mhm.
also identifying the customer segment, market size, right? And also we understood how to create a value proposition Canva. And the last topic will be on business model Canva. I will take this after this discussion and we will close the session.
Till now, any questions? I'll share ma'am's email ID as well on chatbot.
Uh, Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Actually, I was disconnected to meeting for some time, and मैम मैंने शायद वैल्यू प्रोपोजिशन नहीं सुना एक बार तो शॉर्ट में आप अगर
हाँ हाँ, हम आपको दिखाएंगे, यहाँ पे देखो, ये तो one, this is one of the tool where we capture the value proposition for your own idea or a business. Okay, it looks like this. It has, can you see my screen?
यस मैम
Okay, there are two sectors, segment to it. One side is for the customer, another side for your business. Okay, so in the customer side, we try to identify their wants, their needs, and their fears. Okay, what is that they're looking for? What do I want? In this case, in the example which I shared was a EV vehicle, right? he has a EV vehicle. He want to reduce the fuel expenses, and he also want to have a low maintenance cost, and also he wanted a EV maintenance service center. So what are his needs? Accessible, service centers nearby, durable batteries with long lifespans, and also he didn't wanted to get it served from serviced from any other ordinary mechanic. He wanted an expert in EV vehicles. That is his requirement. And also he wanted that his vehicle to be maintained regularly. Yeah, his needs. At the same time, he has his fears, not able to find a nearby EV repair center or a workshop, and he's been wasting money. He thinks that, okay, I bought this EV vehicle, there is no service center, I will not buy EV vehicle. So thereby, this fear can also lead to two things. One is reduced market for EV vehicle in that particular region, right? Though the people are willing to buy that vehicle, because the servicing is a challenge, there are no workshop accessibility, so there might be possibility that nobody will buy a EV vehicle. So it is an opportunity for us. That's the reason we are giving these benefits for them, as a business person who has an idea to create workshops which are EV specific workshop, and also creating a labor sector itself who are expert in EV vehicle maintenance. You are giving services, you're also training people so that they can establish the workshops. That is the benefits. And what are the features you are offering? Internship for our graduates. Thereby, college or school students can also be part of this. They can get trained. Thereby, employability increases. Graduate ceremony. If they are getting trained in our institution, I can create a graduate ceremony, give the certification from a very well-known institution, connection. Suppose if I'm a teacher, I'm teaching a course, nobody will come to me because I'm nobody, right? How do people recognize me? I'm at BML Munjal University and I'm a faculty. So people are listening to me today, isn't it? So I got associated with BML Munjal University so that whatever I teach add value to the people. So you are learning from me today, isn't it? That's how can I link with somebody who can support my branding. So how do you build your collaborations? How do you brand yourself is also important. So these are the features. So people come to me because I'm branded with BML Munjal University. So you are offering a training, EV training, and you are associated with some brand, some institution which is well known. People will definitely come and do these services. Similarly, when you join to your school or colleges, if you are at grade 12 or 10th, you look for the institutional branding. Is it what is the placement happening? Who are the faculties, how qualified they are. So there are various parameters you will be considering when you want to join a school. Similarly, if somebody wants to join my training program, am I offering a reliable training with the authentic certification? So that could also be one of the feature which can attract my customers. You understand? So benefits and features is benefits is for the customer, features are also for the customers which we are offering to them. So finally, what type of experience we want to create? Happy, valued, customer feel satisfied, empowered with the skills they are acquiring. That is for the EV trainers, and the confidence they have in order to go ahead and set up their own business. So your products create certain experience. That could be one part of it. So you can also mention what is your product. Your product is EV maintenance and training. Both you are doing. Who are your ideal customers? Ideal customers who are interested in getting training, unemployed people, retailers who are actually selling EV vehicles. For them, repairing is needed. Understood? Similarly, the EV user. So, what could be another substitution for my ideal customer is a people who is actually manufacturing the EV vehicles. They can also become my potential customers. So you have different customers. So which one to start with? First opportunity is start your servicing center where you try to build a network with the EV vehicles users. Then target the unemployed, people. And also, not everyone who is not employed want to learn EV vehicle servicing. Identify people who are interested in learning this skill so that they want to build a career out of it. So there are a lot of stages which you need to apply, but initially when you create a value proposition canva, you will get an idea about what is the benefits, features, and experience you want to create for customers. At the same time, what is this customers are looking forward to. I hope you understood now, correct? Or any questions you have, I can address that. Yeah, you have any questions? You need some more explanation? You can ask me.
Great.
No, ma'am, it's clear now.
Okay. So, any other questions you have before I go to a business model Canva?
Till now, any doubt regarding this concept?
Ma'am, there was some network problem, so I was a bit breaking was there in your voice, so I did not understood everything. But if there would be any query, I would ask you or mail you.
I think this session has been recorded. I think you'll get the recording. So you can review it. And if you have any questions, I'll be able to answer. You can also reach out to me on my email ID. Siraj will share you. Okay. So let me go ahead with the content. We have just 5 minutes left. So I want to explain you business model Canva
Yes, ma'am.
also.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Okay.
I will share my screen now. This example I want to conclude because how did they evolve from there to this thing? So we stopped at business model Canva, I guess, no? Yeah, here. I think value proposition is stopped.
Yep.
Okay, after getting this, next one is what are the key activities you need to do is also important because you're setting up a business because you have an idea. We have identified the customers also. What are the equipments I need to purchase? Do I need to set up a workshop? Do I need to develop a website or a CRM platform? Partnership and collaboration. Whom should I partner with? How do I raise funds for my business? Promotion and marketing. Where do I promote? Where do I market? And then I should start repairing. So you need to list out the activities before you start the business. Now, which are the customer channels and relationship? On-site services, mobile maintenance services, digital marketing, market campaign, because you are strategizing your business so that you can get into the market. So where do I get the customers? You need to apply different strategies. One is you run a campaign, you do a digital marketing or mobile maintenance services where you go, where you, instead of setting a workshop initially, let's say you have a less fun. So you do a mobile maintaining service where people will call you, you just go to their place, do the services, or you can look for customers who are interested in making and you reach the places. Yeah. So that initially, when you do not have funds, how well I can establish with less funds, right? So that somebody could recognize you as a potential business and where you are recognized for a best services. So personal assistance via customer support, call centers, WhatsApp chat, website feedback, SMS reminders, and interaction. This is where you actually build a customer, relationship, because that is also very important. You might be having a very good product, but if there is no customer services, people will not buy. To my understanding, Samsung has a better technology compared to Apple. But why people go to Apple? Because of the experience they get, the services the customers get from the Apple, right? So people buy. It could also be maybe a status symbol. That is different thing. But what experience they get from using their product makes the customer to go buy their products. So what is that you are offering for the customer is important. Along with that, how you made them feel is also very important so that your business can sustain. So, what are the key resources you're looking forward to? One is financial resources to begin with. So, do I need any initial funding? For example, if you're in the school and you have an idea, you want to build a product, and then uh, that product needs certain hardware and software components. So is university will be able to provide it or not? Your school is able to provide it or not? So every school these days they have some incubation centers and some tinkering lab or some Atal innovation centers at schools also established these days, through which only we are doing this program to fund small amount to the students so that they can take that idea into a prototype, then prototype to a next level, right? Your idea to become a prototype, you need some resources. Maybe your school can support you with some money, 5,000 rupees, let's say. Then it becomes a prototype that can be called as a seed money, which is offered by your school. That seed money can lead you to build your idea to a prototype. Now that you have a prototype, that prototype has to become a product. For that, you go and pitch your product. For example, we have a prototype competition which is happening at our university in the IS conference. You apply for it, you come here. We have also prize money which is of 10,000, 15,000, based on how good your prototype is. We are offering. It's an opportunity. So you apply there, you come and become a part of it, right? Let's say you won that prize. So that prize money can also become another resource, financial resource for you. Suppose we have an Atal incubation center. We feel this product is a good idea. Then we might mentor you and help you to become a startup. So that's how the journey starts. So where you are identifying the resources initially, personal capital, how much money you're inputting, HR, technicians, tooling, workshop spaces, furniture utilities. So these are the resources which you need to identify in order to start your business. Do I need a HR? Initially may not be, because I can manage myself. AV technicians, there are no AV technicians. I am the only one who know how to repair the vehicle. So I need to train one more person in my team. Yeah. So that depends upon your business, at what stage you are in the business. So next, how do you partner with who are your key partners? You need to identify. In this case, we are talking about EV vehicles, EV car owners, retailers, spare parts suppliers, Ministry of Education, because I need for certification. I can tell that, see, air pollution is happening because of the vehicles, or it could be that there are a lot of climate issues happening in terms of whatever the resources we are exploiting from the nature. Can we become more renewable? Can we make a sustainable life through using sustainable things in our life? It could be using EV car, or maybe reusing plastics, or degradable products, biodegradable products there, which thereby how we can protect our environment. So some of the examples like this you can take it. So you need to look for the opportunities where you can partner with them, so that you can have your business running. So you can also have angel investors who are interested in your idea. When you go and pitch it, they might be interested, they see the potential in your idea, they want to invest in your business. So these are very important. You need to have the clarity about your key partners when you are starting your business. Next, financial stability. So this is in the later stage, to identify, in case if I want to start a business, what is the initial cost? Money. I need to generate certain money. I need to invest certain money. How do I generate the money? So these are the things. This is all very specific to your business. For example, if I'm developing a air quality monitoring system which is of 100 rupees, how many people will buy it? Right. First of all, somebody has to like your product. Somebody has to feel, yes, it is a good product which is doing a good service to the people. First, you start a pilot run at your own school itself. You start gifting that as a trial round. Take the feedback from them. Then they will say, okay, this is not working properly, or maybe this is not comfortable for me to wear. I need the better shape. I need a smaller size because it is too big for my face. Because user will buy your mask or a device based on their requirements. You would have thought, okay, this is a best purifier I have created, or a best mask I've created for the people. Then the other person who is using, he has his own expectation about that. So when you run a pilot run in a real time environment, you will get that feedback. That's when you enhance the features of your product. So Apple is not Apple now. Apple has different versions of Apple phones which has been released. Every version is an improvement from the first one. How did that happen? Because they take customer feedback very seriously and their requirements, and they start building the technology and the experiences which can satisfy. So based on that, your financial requirement also will increase when you start adding more features to it, isn't it? So you can have an estimated idea. Okay, in the first year, I this is a roadmap for you in terms of the involvement of money. Where do I get the money? How much money I have to spend? How much money I can earn by selling this or by servicing some product of them? What would be the servicing cost for them? If he becomes a regular customer, can I give them a discount so that every month I get this much money from this customer? So basically, you sit and analyze the revenue resources, how much money you need to set up your business. For example, if you're looking for a physical space, I need to rent out. So those costs also involves in the expenses which you are going to incur. So having that clarity is also important. Next, here it says, um, uh, here it is a business strategy they are offering. I am giving an example of this company where they have set up a EV maintenance and training center. They have decided that for the first year there will be no salary for the employees because they are not having enough funds. They have decided that because I am the owner, I am the only one who knows EV training, I will train 2 3 people. For that, they will going to become my part of the company, so I cannot pay them because I'm training them for free. So first 1 year or 2 years, based on this a strategy they are applying, that there will be no salaries, and after that I want to have a revenue growth. Maybe then I will pay my regular employees. So this is one of the strategy, and they are projecting their profit also, how I can generate my revenue so that I have a profit in my business. So this is also important when you are creating your business pitch, having a roadmap. How many customers I want to acquire? How many? Which are the regions? For example, I start a business in Gurgaon. Then I want to go out of Gurgaon. I want to go to Jaipur. You're expanding. So that should be your roadmap. Because if you have a roadmap, you will have a clarity, and then there will be a achievement target which you would have set for yourself based on your business requirements, right? And very importantly, this is very important because most of the time we only think about creating an idea or a business or making money or acquiring customers, but we also don't think about what is the impact I can create it in terms of um, looking at the sustainable goals of UN, which says that this idea of them, they are claiming that it is going to reduce the poverty, because if they're creating employability, they think that people can earn money and poverty can be remote. At the same time, decent work and economic growth is also possible because I'm going to employ them, right? After they get skilled, they get employed. And what am I also doing is I'm reducing CO2 emission because more and more people are using EV, because the service was the only concern. If I provide a service for them, definitely more and more people will buy EV. Thereby, I am reducing CO2 emission and also contributing to the climate action. So your idea is creating impact. So these clarity also you need to have. So this I will skip. And also in terms of sustainability, people, planet, you can look at it. So I want to give you a business model Canva for you. One second. I'll open it to you. Okay. This is another tool where this is value proposition. Okay. Yeah, this is the business model Canva. This is a tool which you can use it in order to capture the information. Like I've already given you the informations, but this is a proper way of putting the points. Key partners, I explained you in that PPT with an example for EV vehicle servicing, maintenance and training. Who are your key partners? Identify them. What are the key activities you need to have, right? Identify. For example, if you have forgotten, I'll just open the slide where I explained you the key activities, what you should be giving. Yeah, purchasing the equipment, setting up the workshop, things like that. Okay. And next one is key resources which you want to have. What is the value proposition? What is the customer relationship you are building? What are the channels you are using, marketing channels, to acquire those customers? I showed you through digital marketing and all that. Who are the customer segment? This is the area you need to fill. So basically, this business model Canva will capture the informations in one place, which I had showed you individually how to get this informations. Similarly, cost structure which you are going to build for your product, and what are the revenue streams you are going to generate. This is all about business call Canva. There I explained you individually. The same data you need to fill it here in this boxes. Thereby, this one canvas is enough to capture all the informations in one place. Okay. Any questions with that? I think I have covered business model Canva and value proposition, opportunity identification, evaluations, and also how do you create a mission and vision for you for your business,